Vatican City is the smallest country in the world, home of the Pope, the Sistine Chapel, and 0 hot dog stands. So the question has to be asked, how fast can you sprint through the country, starting at one end, putting on and running until you reach the other end? I spent days researching this, and here's what I found. This is the map of Vatican City. We want to get from one end to the other, but where exactly should we draw that line? You could jump across the border here and get the race done in 1 second. You could go completely vertical or completely horizontal, but that all seems unfair. If this is a proper race, it has to be the full length. I'm going to find the furthest 2 points from each other on the city's border by using intricate futuristic technology known as Google Maps. I found that between these 2 corners is the furthest. How fast can you run between these 2 points? We're gonna start a bit in from the border on this circle because it looks cool, and ending as soon as we leave the border on the other side. And it's 1.05 kilometers long. Since a regular human runs 1 kilometer in 6 minutes 30 seconds, 1.05 kilometers would take 6 minutes and 55 seconds. So that's how long it would take. But if we had a tiger chasing you, the adrenaline would mean you could sprint the entire time. You'd likely finish it in 3 minutes 38 seconds. Usain Bolt being chased by a tiger would only take 1 minute 42 seconds. Sonic would take 3.06 seconds. David Tennant would take negative 10 minutes. So that's it, right? We found how long it takes. Not quite. We're assuming that we can run in a straight line from one side to the other, but one pesky physics concept stands in our way. It's known as mass. Turns out you can't run through walls. If we use satellite view, we can see that about 65 meters in, we run flat into a wall. Even Tiger Fear wouldn't get you through that. So we have to change the route slightly by bending around some walls and buildings. I think you could run through foliage and trees without too much trouble. Then there's another wall we can easily go around, adding a few meters to our path. However, there is a water feature in our path. I know this is Holy Land, but I don't think we can walk on water just by being here. So we have to either go around or jump over it. The world record long jump is 9 meters, so we can adjust so that we only have to jump, let's say, 6 meters of water. Now we get to some real problems. We can't high jump this entire building, so instead we can go down here and enter the car park. I'm assuming there are big doors here that will fit us through, though we're gonna have to take half a second off for jumping and hitting the ceiling of this. There's no way you could resist that. After running around a few more buildings, we are almost at the border, except the entirety of Vatican City is surrounded by a giant wall. If we go straight up, we won't get out. Instead, go right here down a side street and jump on the raised section. You should be able to jump the fence and land on the street Affresci di Raffaello, then run right to the end. A new path looks like this. We bend around walls, jump through hedges, dive over ponds, and climb a fence. It's 1.13 kilometers, which means our new time looks like this. But wait, what's the point of this run if you can't prove it? You need a souvenir to show people that you went to Vatican City. So what should you get? A keychain? Shot glass? Think a bit bigger, a bit more illegal. I googled the most valuable things in the Vatican and started looking. I managed to get the floor plan and set up routes to steal each item. The only problem is, they're all kind of big things. Now I'm not saying you aren't strong enough to carry an entire basilica, I just think it might slow you down. So instead we're going for the ultimate prize, the Pope's hat. The Pope lives in this building called the Palazzo Apostolico. The plan is, run into the building, get into his rooms, take the hat, ask for forgiveness, and then run out and finish getting to the other side. Time to plan the final route. We start in this cool circle as always, then after dodging a few small buildings, we can go under the arches and into the main court. These look like entrance stairs to the Palazzo Apostolico to me, so we'll go up there, go upstairs and find the Pope's room. Because I don't actually know where it is, we'll have to look around the whole floor before we find it, then take about 5 seconds to tackle the Pope and steal his hat, which is the coolest visual sentence I've ever said. Then we simply dive through one of the windows on this side of the building and land on the other roof with a dive roll. We end up close to the road so we don't have any more walls to worry about. Run onto the Affresci di Raffaello and go upwards into the finish line, blatantly flailing the Pope's hat to everyone. And our path is finally 1.29 kilometers. And therefore, you can sprint through Vatican City and steal the Pope's hat in 8 minutes and 23 seconds. I vow if I get 10 million subscribers, I'll do it for real.